Before the break, I checked out Khao San Road in Bangkok, where I mingled with the locals and saw many cultures mesh together. Now it's time for Cooking with Ron.
Sawadee krap. Welcome to cooking demonstration with Ron Raccoon. I'm not a chef. Don't trust me, but I am a homemade cooker. I cook with my passion, experience that I've been taught from my family. I love cooking, but I don't want to work as a chef because it's so stressed.
Well, there'll be nothing to stress about in this segment as Ron cooks us a quick and easy Pad Kapow Ner Jing Jo. The first vital ingredient you'll need is that Aussie kick I was talking about, that being 400 grams of kangaroo fillet. Next up, we have a small bowl of chopped chili and garlic, however many chilies you desire, whilst the garlic is vital. Then the next major ingredient is the krapao basil or Thai holy basil. And finally, fish sauce and soy sauce.
Now I'm gonna put everything together. Nice and hot pan, nice and hot wok. A little bit of vegetable oil. Okay, now nice and hot wok. I'm gonna add now the one that I already made. Prepare. Okay, fry it a little bit until they get a little bit of aroma. Till it's soft. Now you can throw in the meats. There we go. Very simple, isn't it? You can see the textures of the kangaroo meat. Beautiful. Very look yummy already. Even I didn't season it yet.
Stir for a couple of minutes until satisfied.
Hopefully, when you come back, you're gonna tell me who's better. All right, Danny. All right, you promise? You go into around the corner and try that dish, and let's compare. Okay. Now I'll leave it a little bit for since the meat's cooked. I just add a little bit of fish sauce, which is very common in Thai dish, and a little bit of soy sauce to season it. Oh, smell yummy already. As you can see, the meat start cooking. For this dish, I don't want to leave the meat on the heat for so long, otherwise it gets tough.
If you see it to be necessary, add more soy sauce for seasoning and then even black pepper for that extra zing.
Right, to finish it off, I just throw in the basil. How simple is that? Very easy.
A bit too easy, Ron. I'm not sure why Aussies haven't turned this into the next big thing. As a Thai person, I am in love with this dish day in, day out.
Here we go, Danny. This is Pad Kapow Ner Jing Jo, which is it's very simple dish and it's very Thai authentic with a big touch of Aussie.
Remember, all you need for this dish is kangaroo fillet, chopped chili and garlic, krapao basil, fish sauce and soy sauce. Authentic Pad Kapow made inside an Aussie kitchen, a dish someone of any background can indulge in. Of course, those available to finish it did so happily. I'm sure Nick and Tom loved it. Okay, Ron, I had to take your challenge seriously and turn it into somewhat of a quest. Maybe I'll go into Bangkok and try to find a Pad Kapow that compares to your Aussie Pad Kapow Ner Jing Jo. It was easier than I thought. I wouldn't even need to leave the building. Just on the ground floor of my hotel is a 5-star restaurant, serving luxury jellies, cakes, more cakes and bread buns. Bread buns, I tell you. As are these Falang foods, this class of restaurant is quite rare in most parts of Thailand, but this joint was fancy, so much so that I was told to wear a 2-piece suit. However, it did take me a small while. Hey, give me a break, I've only had a dad for a few weeks now. Anyways, I came downstairs without suit shoes or suit pants, just a nice 2-piece with jeans and sandals. And whilst excited for my Pad Krapao Mu challenge, I thought it was time to practice some of my basic Thai language skills that I've learnt from Kru Charit.
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
คุณพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้ไหมครับ
นิดเดียว
ไม่เป็นไรผมพูดไทยได้นิดหน่อยครับผมขอผัดกะเพราหมูนะครับ
ผัดกะเพราหมูได้ค่ะ
ใช่
Only a few more lessons with Triya, I'll be fluent, I swear. So my Pad Krapao Mu had arrived at the table. So on first sight, the chef did quite a good job in regards to presentation. Certainly not a traditional Pad Krapao Mu, it seemed to be very classy. But you can't judge a book by its cover. I had to get ripped in. It wasn't bad at all. It did, however, cost 170 baht. But I suppose the service made it worth its while. Yeah, I was enjoying myself there, but I was a bit of a tool.
Im Lao. Okay, Ron, you sent me out here to Bangkok. You said go to Thailand, and you said, yeah, go try the real Thai food, the authentic Thai food, the way it is supposed to be made. Now, you just made Pad Krapao Mu early on in the episode. Well, I just tried it here at the Windsor Hotel, and it was, it was Nungroi Jet Sipat. It was just a bit peng, jing jing. And also had to go through a bit of an argument with management behind me, but they gave me a beautiful glass of cafe. And
So Ron, that was one way to have a Pad Krapao Mu, but if I'm to compare to yours, to the real deal, I had to go to a legitimate, everyday Thai restaurant, which called for a costume change.
Hopefully, when you come back, you're gonna tell me who's better. All right, Danny. All right, you promise? You go into around the corner and try that dish, and let's compare. Okay.
So I was in a small family-style Lanahan Thai or Thai restaurant. This was my favourite place yet. อาหารที่นี่เป็นอร่อยมากๆนะครับ
Alright, Ron, as for this one, the restaurant's nowhere near as expensive, and it's, of course, much more friendly around here. I'll give it, actually, it's probably much closer to yours, much more tasty, maybe a bit less bitter, whereas this is really just a family-made meal that I really enjoy.
As good as that was, there is still one final way that you can get a Pad Krapao Mu in Thailand, and that would be in a 7-Eleven, widely referred to simply as 7.
Okay, so I just got out of 7-Eleven, and yes, I did manage to get the Pad Krapao. Now, Pad Krapao, of course, as I'm going on this quest, I go all around Krung Thep trying to find the very best. This is not the very best, but I'll tell you what, it's the most convenient. It's quite cheap, very cheap, and it is still the same quality. So if you do want to get Pad Krapao and you don't want to go to the efforts of going to a fancy restaurant, just go to a 7-Eleven and they heat it up for you, nice and cheap. It's the equivalent of $1.
By the way, there are 589 7-Elevens in Australia. That's nothing compared to a whopping 6,773 sevens in Thailand.
Okay, just a quick one here in my hotel room. Let's say I'm just going on the streets. I've got my little traveller card, get a bunch of cash, and I say, okay, Pom Tong Khan Sang Soup, Pad Krapao Mu nakap. Instead of that, we'll just get something nice and, well, cheap. And something cheap to eat is, well, just bring my dad in here. What would you call this in Thai?
The brand?
Yeah.
Oho.
What is oho to Thai people?
When you feel like you're surprised.
So it's, for example, if I say, Pom Tong Khan Sang Soup, Pad Krapao Mu nakap. And you say, 300 baht nakap. I say, oho, pang. Fuck off. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd do. And then, since I told you to fuck off, what would you say? Oh.
Yes, oho.
Oh.
Oho.
Sorry about the language. See you after the break.